Alright, Keek, this is a little sneak peek for you guys only. This is a workbench that I really want to build for my shop. I don't know if I'll get any time to do it soon, so we'll see. But this is all 2x construction pine, and the legs are 4x4s, but you can glue two 2x4s to get that. So 2x construction pine, anything that is readily available at a big box store, and the vise assemblies are nothing special, just pipe clamps, and I'll show you how that works in just a second. But this is supposed to be, just an everyday guy kind of workbench. We're not all Lee Nielsen kind of workers here, you know what I'm saying? So this will work great for any one of us. And I don't mean any disrespect by that. The tops. This is not one solid top simply because I'm lazy and do not want to hand plane it all nice and smooth. I want to have two sections that I can run through my thickness planer and make it do all the work, not me. So the first thing, these are 12 inches wide with a 2-inch gap in between. That serves a lot of purpose right there. First, like I said, so I can run these through the thickness planer and level them up that way. But once I get the initial glue up done on these are 2x6s by 48 inches long. Once I get the initial glue up, I can use my router and use it as a router plane and plane one surface perfectly flat, flip it over, and then run it through my actual planer. So I can do that with both sides, get them on the same playing field, and that'll be great. The gap also serves another purpose of if your workpiece is only this wide and doesn't necessarily stretch the whole width of the workbench top, you can put clamps right down the middle and clamp it to both sides of your workpiece. So that's going to be really good. The leg assemblies are, like I said, 4x4s, or you can glue together 2x4s to make a somewhat 4x4. And I've got these stretchers that run in between that are in like a little half lap joint on both sides to tie everything together nice and neat. It's going to be really strong. I've got two on the top for each leg assembly and one on the bottom. And these are going to be pocket holes screwed into the top surface itself. I'm going to have 3 on this side per 3 on this inside per top surface, and again 3 on the outside per top surface. So it's going to be pretty darn strong. Below that, I've got 4 horizontal 2x4s that are connected via half lap joint on both sides. 3/4 inch pine plywood top on both of these, and this particular 2x4 right here is going to be angled all the way down, and it's going to be like a reverse French cleat system. This piece right here is going to run back and forth along this French cleat system to stop it from falling out, and that's going to be support for this vise over here. So this one can move back and forth as needed, and then this peg can move up and down as needed as well. So this is going to work in conjunction with this vise. You're going to have another height stop right here to match over here. So if you're using a shelf that you want to, say, plane the front face down on a shelf, you can adjust your height, set it in place, use this pipe clamp vise to clamp it to the workbench. So how does this pipe clamp vise work? This is like a 2x10 right here on the face of it. This 1/2 inch pipe clamp goes through this 4x4 leg, and on the bottom side, inside, you're going to have the locking mechanism on the back side of a pipe clamp. So we're all familiar with that. You can reach in there and loosen it up and go as needed. To get this to stop from binding, if there's nothing down here and you tighten something in here, this piece is going to want to go this way and create a diagonal with this face. To stop that, there is going to be a bolt here with a wing nut on both sides. You just tighten this down so this remains stationary. This pivots right here, pushes in, and the top surface goes that way. So that's going to be handy. And because it is a pipe clamp, you can pull it out as needed, put your workpiece in there, and quickly adjust it back in. Once you have it adjusted back in, then you can use the screw advance on the front of the pipe clamp to really bear down on the pressure. That's how this one works. Same way with this one, although this one I want to design a little bit beefier, so it's going to be the same 2x10 side piece, but I want to put a little bit of angle iron on both sides to stop any type of flex that this may have. and I've got a bunch of this angle iron from old bed frames, the metal angle iron bed frames. Excuse me, got a little tongue tied there. But bed frame angle iron salvaged from a lot of leftover junk, so that'll be handy to use. Same way down here, you loosen this up and this moves in and out as needed. So yeah, this is all gonna be big box store construction grade pine, so nothing fancy. I'm getting the weight by the top, obviously is pretty beefy, and I added a bunch of just junk on the bottom, you know, the shelves and whatnot. So I want something that's not going to want to move around as I'm planing on the top. So that's the design as far as getting the weight out of pine. I don't want to use any hardwoods just because hardwoods are expensive and I don't have any readily available. Oh, also I want to use this as some type of bench dog setup, and instead of drilling holes in the top to stop my workpiece, I'm actually going to put a 2x4 across right here with 2 holes, one on either end, and I can drop a pipe clamp in there on both sides and clamp this 2x4 directly to the bench. That way it's not moving. And then on this one, I'm actually probably going to raise this up by 1/2 inch to 1 inch. That way between this 2x4 bench dog system and then this right here, I can clamp my workpiece all the way in there and then maybe plane out on the top of a shelf or something. So yeah, that's the design, and may or may not be building it. I'm not exactly sure. I really want to, but getting around to doing it is another question. So if I don't build it, I'll probably do a SketchUp video on how I built this in SketchUp and give you guys the file, and you guys can make your own or do whatever you want, but no plans as of yet.